Hi, Patrick Russell, EA, with today's caliente topic. I get this question all the time. Pat, how do I calculate my step up in basis on a property that I just sold that I originally bought with a spouse that's no longer with us? And the next question I ask is, well, what state are you in? If you're in a community property state to include California, Arizona, Idaho, Louisiana, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, Washington, and Wisconsin, you're covered by IRC Section 1014, subsection B, subparagraph 6, which states that a surviving spouse's new basis in a property co-owned by a deceased spouse is now the fair market value at the time of the spouse's passing. So let's take a look at a quick example to solidify that idea. Assuming you were a couple in 1977 that bought a house for $187,000. Notice how there's no breakup of that basis. As co-owners in a community property state, it belongs to both of you. Now let's say spouse one dies in 2000 and the value of the house was $500,000 at that point. Well, the law says that now the surviving spouse's new basis in the property is $500,000. Well, if the original was $187,000, you know that the step up in value in this particular case is $313,000. But what if you're in a non-community property state? Well, in this case, the tax code treats each spouse as separate owners in the property, to which each must have their own basis worksheet and calculations to maintain. In this case, you're looking at the original cost of $187,000 not being a community basis, but now needed to be split up between both spouses, $93,500 to each. Now, in the same instance that the spouse dies and the house is still worth $500,000, you now have to take into account the deceased spouse original basis, but their half of the step up in value of $313,000 divided by 2, which would equal to $156,500. So the basis for the surviving spouse moving forward, not $500,000, it would be their original basis. They would have to retain their original basis and add to the step up from their deceased spouse, which in this case is $250,000, which leaves the basis to the original spouse or the surviving spouse at $343,500. So you can see how where you are actually plays a big part in what kind of a capital gain tax you might be facing. Keep in mind that if this is a home, you still have the benefit of IRC Section 121, which excludes the gain on a house sold by a single individual of up to $250,000 and excludes the gain of a married, filing joint couple of up to $500,000. This has been today's topic. Until next lesson, take care.